It's so nice to have you back in London, Meghan. I've missed our little lunches.
We've never had lunch together, Kate.
Well, we must continue the tradition.
See, she wants to have lunch with you.
She doesn't want it. Let's just watch the...
Now, Meghan Markle has announced that her Confessions of a Female Founder podcast, well, it's going into hiatus. Is that the same as it's never coming back, Kinsey? Why is she resting this particular project?
So the animated comedy South Park mocked Meghan Markle and Prince Harry in a recent episode called the Worldwide Privacy Tour. You were told if you apologized, you can get your show back. And meanwhile, your criticism of those two was dead on accurate and you would not capitulate. Good for you.
Well, thank you.
Meghan Markle has a little something I like to call liarrhea. She really can't stop saying, I would argue, some half-truths, mistruths, and some outright lies.
Apparently, a new source this morning is revealing how Meghan Markle reacted to last week's South Park episode. And apparently, Prince Harry made a call to the South Park producers, angry at what they got wrong. How much of this is true? Well, I have a buddy who works at South Park, and I gave him a call. You're not going to miss this installment.
South Park rules.
They fucking rule.
Did you see what they just did?
What'd they do?
They went at Harry and Meghan.
She's suing
And they're trying to sue him. It's like
a lot to take in. I think last week took a lot of people by surprise with the twerking video.
It was a lot to take in, wasn't it?
I thought it was. I honestly, genuinely had to go to her page to make sure it had originated there because I thought it was a parody.
Fresh from repeatedly telling us that they were escaping the United Kingdom because they wanted privacy. They hated the press. They hated everything to be involved in the intrusion in their lives. And then they had their little children.
That is the song she's dancing to about getting that child support.
Sorry, you got it. I'm sorry. The greatest moment in British. Just do that. Just do that again. Jodie is on the floor, which hasn't been the first time. Just do again what you just said. This is what she's dancing to.
I know you're so concerned about this. I know that do we need to take a moment?
I won't sleep tonight.
This will be hard for you to process. But
now, she has appeared on someone else's podcast and she made a number of revelations. Take us through those, Kinsey.
Now, that, of course, is a reference to their repeated calls for privacy in interviews. And here is how South Park mocked the obvious hypocrisy. Take a look.
And we see this reflected yet again in her upcoming podcast interview, which airs, it would be today when you guys see it. So it'd be Tuesday, June 17th.
Apparently, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are mulling legal action over the biting South Park episode, taking aim at the duo.
You're suing South Park?
kick that hornet's nest.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah.
Really?
You're just going to empower them to go harder.
Pretty brilliant episode. Not suing, just mad.
But no, it was real.
Why is she doing this? Why is she that twerking video, for instance, and the Disneyland video? I mean, these have gone viral. Why is she doing this?
All she does now with her jams that are crap is post pictures of her children left, right and centre, which has me always thinking, well, hold on a second, you duplicitous woman, how does that make any sense? But we've now reached a point where
Meghan Markle claims her Confessions of a Female Founder podcast will be going on hiatus, allowing her to focus on her other projects like her...
I watched them whining away to Oprah Winfrey for what seemed like 3,000 hours, and I simply observed that I wouldn't believe Meghan Markle if she read the weather report. I think that's really aged well, that claim, because I wouldn't.
I would ask people to tell the truth. A quote from Meghan Markle. And I'm like, what are you talking about now?
Yeah, the episode that tore into Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has reportedly raised the ire of the couple, with rumors surfacing that they have called in their legal team to take action. Now, I can't believe they'd be this stupid. I just can't believe they would do this. That's
just mad.
Oh, okay.
They made an official statement that we are angry.
Yeah, it just says,
which was exactly
it's all nonsense. But
what the episode was.
Well, I'm trying to separate the two thoughts. I feel, we're discussing it in the context of royals and royal family. But now I suppose we need to discuss it in terms of entertainment.
I possibly am going to be sick live on the television. Meghan Markle has posted a cringy video of her and Prince Harry dancing in a hospital room. This is we're playing it. She's waiting for she's twerking with the baby.
Reality TV show in her As Ever brand. Now, I think that this is her being dishonest. Newsweek reported that the podcast came into the Spotify charts at number 24 on April 10th, 2 days later after its release.
Our first guest, the Prince and his wife. We want privacy! We want privacy!
Because the reason people think Meghan Markle lies is because she has from the beginning. Something doesn't start out of nothing. You have to continue to do something and people get it ingrained.
That Meghan and Harry are mulling legal action over this episode. Again, when Steph, the alternate, put this out there, kudos to her, and Harry are mulling legal action over this episode. I want to admit, yeah, they could be that dumb. They really could be that dumb.
Someone wanted a lot of attention, and now they got it.
That was the whole episode. That was the ep.
Yeah.
That was the premise.
Is that what it was? Like, we want privacy, and they keep going on every magazine.
Yeah. We're on our privacy tour.
Yeah.
In that regard, yes, there are eyes on her page. There are people watching what she's doing. That directly relates, I would assume, to the sales that she's having and eyes that are on her Netflix show and, that are going to her website as ever.
To try and make the baby come, this is to induce Lilibet's birth. She's dancing in front of the camera. Oh God, it looks like a lap dancing club with pregnant women. He's also dancing in front of the camera.
Meghan Markle just made the biggest mistake of her Hollywood career, and South Park is absolutely loving every second of it. The Duchess of Sussex thought she could post a controversial pregnancy video on Instagram and somehow escape the internet's brutal judgment, but instead she handed Trey Parker and Matt Stone the perfect ammunition for their next devastating celebrity takedown.
Well, one of the questions that the host asks is if she could rewrite her public narrative from scratch, if there's anything she would do differently. And she responded, yes, she would ask people to tell the truth. I mean, what? Classic Meghan blaming others.
What happened next exposed the shocking hypocrisy that's been hiding behind the Sussex privacy tour and revealed why major Hollywood studios are now running away from Meghan faster than ever before.
California sources claim that Meghan has spent the past few days upset and overwhelmed about how she was portrayed.
The disaster started when Meghan decided to share never-before-seen footage of herself dancing in a hospital delivery room while pregnant with Princess Lilibet. The video shows her and Prince Harry celebrating in what should have been their most private, intimate moment, but instead of keeping it personal, Meghan turned it into content for her millions of followers.
Prego, but I'm still doing moves like Beyonce. Yeah, I said I'm pregnant. Get that child support and pay my rent. Your opinion is irrelevant because I'm a baby mama and I can do what I wanna.
My God. Is it me? Is it me, or is there nothing this woman... Is she ever going to get to the point where she literally looks in the mirror and goes, nobody's interested in my jam or my life, nobody likes me, shut the hell up?
The reaction was immediate and absolutely brutal, with critics calling it deeply problematic and questioning why someone who constantly demands privacy would film and share such an intimate moment. Media personality Megyn Kelly didn't hold back, calling the video attention-seeking behavior that completely contradicts everything the Sussexes claim to stand for.
In fact, and that echoes to the follow-up here, that Meghan and Harry are mulling legal action over this episode. Again, when Steph, the alternate, put this out there, kudos to her, I was just like, no, come on. It's satire. This is stupid. What are you even thinking about? There's a lot of lawyers that like to make money and take on stupid cases. So prominent royal commentators claim Prince Harry and Meghan lawyers are casting an eye over the animated television show after, they got savaged.
The footage reignited conspiracy theories about Meghan's pregnancies and gave ammunition to everyone who's been questioning the authenticity of her public persona. But here's where things get really interesting, because South Park has been waiting for exactly this kind of moment ever since they absolutely demolished Harry and Meghan in their legendary worldwide privacy tour episode back in 2023.
The publication states that archived versions of the site show that April 12th, it had dropped out of the top 100. Confessions of a Female Founder was not an analytical success.
That episode was a masterpiece of satirical destruction that perfectly captured the couple's ridiculous contradiction of demanding privacy while simultaneously doing Netflix documentaries, Oprah interviews, and writing tell all books. The animated version of the couple was so spot on that it became the definitive take on their hypocrisy, with the privacy-loving wife constantly posting on Instagram while begging the world to leave them alone. The episode went viral precisely because it held up a mirror to behavior that millions of people found completely absurd, and now Meghan has given them fresh material that's even more ridiculous than anything they could have imagined. South Park doesn't just mock celebrities, they completely destroy them, and their track record proves that once you become a target, there's no coming back from their satirical assault. The show has taken down politicians, religious leaders, and mega corporations with surgical precision, and every single time the result is the same, the target becomes a permanent punchline in popular culture. What makes South Park so devastating is that their parody is legally protected under fair use, which means celebrities can threaten all they want, but they can't actually stop the show from airing. Trey Parker and Matt Stone have faced lawsuits, legal threats, and public pressure from some of the most powerful people in the world, but they've never backed down because they know the law is on their side, and controversy only makes their content more popular. The fallout from Meghan's pregnancy video has been even worse than the initial backlash, because major Hollywood players are reportedly distancing themselves from the Sussex brand entirely. Sources in the entertainment industry claim that studios like A24 and Paramount, who had previously entertained working with Meghan, are now avoiding any association with her projects. The video didn't just fail to generate positive publicity, it actively damaged whatever remaining credibility she had in Hollywood circles. Industry insiders are whispering that the Sussex brand has become toxic with every project they touch, turning into a public relations nightmare that smart executives want to avoid completely. Netflix is rumored to be regretting their $100 million deal, and Spotify already cut ties after their podcast failed to deliver promised content. What makes this situation even more devastating for Meghan is that every attempt she makes to control the narrative only provides more ammunition for her critics and more material for South Park to work with. This is the classic Streisand effect, where trying to suppress information only makes it spread faster and wider. Meghan's team has reportedly sent legal warnings and made behind-the-scenes calls to try to prevent further mockery, but these efforts always backfire because they demonstrate exactly the kind of entitled behavior that makes her such a perfect target for satire. Each response she makes to criticism creates new headlines and gives comedians more material while reinforcing the public perception that she can't handle the consequences of her own choices. The more she tries to control her image, the more obvious it becomes that she's obsessed with public perception, despite claiming to want privacy. Now South Park fans are demanding that the show return to roasting the royal couple, and the timing couldn't be more perfect for another devastating episode. The pregnancy video controversy has reignited public interest in the Sussex hypocrisy and created the perfect cultural moment for Trey and Matt to strike again. Social media is filled with people sharing clips from the original Worldwide Privacy Tour episode, alongside Meghan's latest Instagram post showing how perfectly the satirical predictions matched reality. The demand for new South Park content targeting the couple is so high that it's basically guaranteed to happen, and when it does, the internet is going to explode with reactions. Industry watchers are already speculating about what form the next South Park assault will take, and whether it will be even more brutal than their previous royal content. The ultimate irony in all of this is that Meghan Markle has become the perfect embodiment of everything South Park loves to mock: someone who claims to want privacy while constantly creating viral content, someone who presents herself as a victim while wielding enormous privilege, and someone who demands respect while behaving in ways that invite ridicule. Her pregnancy video represents the culmination of years of contradictory behavior, and South Park's inevitable response will serve as the final word on her credibility. The show has become the cultural arbiter of celebrity authenticity, and their judgment tends to stick in the public consciousness long after the original controversy is forgotten. For Meghan, this means that no matter what she does next, she'll always be remembered as the privacy-loving Duchess who couldn't stop posting on Instagram, and that's a reputation that no amount of PR can ever fully repair.